Just like back on the farm.
Mellow roast coffee and grain beverage. Great coffee taste without bitterness.
The yogurt of France is called Yoplait. Some Americans don't know about it yet. But what happens when Americans get their first taste of Yoplait? They'll think it's different. It's creamy, smooth, all-natural yogurt with real fruit. It's just amazing what happens when a real American gets a little taste of French culture.
Ce yogourt Yoplait, il est différent. Il est si crémeux, si doux. Les fruits sont naturels.
Yoplait yogurt. Get a little taste of French culture.
Bon.
How about Red Lobster for lunch?
Come wake up your taste for seafood in the middle of the day. Enjoy lunch at Red Lobster. We'll serve you right away.
This isn't the old burgers and fries routine. Red Lobster's serving scampi, flounder, salads, lots of lunches far from routine.
Everything we do is for the seafood lover in you. Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
Channel 4, Pittsburgh.
From Channel 4, the tri-state area's leading news station, this is Action News.
There's good news for baseball fans tonight. John Candelaria was released from a Meadville hospital today following a two-car accident on I-79 in Crawford County. Candelaria was rushed to the hospital along with 5 other persons. Doctors say he sustained a back sprain. None of the other people were seriously injured. Candelaria reportedly was alone in his car at the time. The Pirate office says the Candyman is resting comfortably tonight. He should be back on the mound very soon, pending the outcome of his recovery. In Cambridge, Ohio, authorities are gearing up for a full-scale inquiry into the fire this morning, which killed 9 people and injured 78. It was the Holiday Inn. It was filled almost to capacity with travelers and vacationers. The fire broke out before dawn, and among those who escaped, many were forced to use chairs and other furniture to break through the double-paned windows. Many were cut by broken glass. There were no fire escapes from the upper floor. Among the dead were 4 children. And Houston officials tonight say the worst residential fire in their history destroyed or badly damaged more than 800 apartments. Refugee centers have been set up to accommodate the hundreds of homeless. Most of the apartments destroyed were in the $500 rental range.
City police say that foul play could be involved in the disappearance of a 23-year-old Penn State student. Carol Jersick was last seen last night jogging in Oakland with a friend. That's the area where police are now searching. Deborah Fox has an update.
It was just a little over 24 hours ago that 23-year-old Carol Jersick told her jogging partner, Michael Pierce, that she would meet him back home on Murray Hill Avenue. The two had just been on a 15-mile jog, and Carol said that she was going to jog a couple of miles up Forbes Avenue to the Giant Eagle in Squirrel Hill. But she never made it to the Giant Eagle, according to some of the employees, nor did she ever make it back home, and her disappearance is now the subject of a massive police search.
You know, she wasn't real expressive emotionally, but she seemed to have everything. She was very responsible and very thoughtful. She wasn't at all impulsive, wasn't the kind that would just do something on the spur of the moment. So.
Do you think she's the type of person that simply would have run off without telling anybody?
No, I really don't, because she has a lot of responsibilities here with her job. She was hungry, she was tired. She had her foot was bothering her. She had a cramp in her foot earlier in the evening. She wanted to get home and eat and do some research work that she had to do for the following day.
Nor do police suspect that she just up and ran. They consider her a victim of foul play, and they are now conducting their search on Forbes Avenue, starting from Forbes and Craig, the area where she was last seen. Carol is a master's candidate at Penn State. She at one time was also an Olympic fencing contender. She was wearing a blue tank top, white shorts, and blue jogging shoes with yellow stripes at the time of her disappearance. Now, if you have any information regarding her whereabouts, police ask you to call 255-2887. That's 255-2887. Deborah Fox, Channel 4 Action News.
In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 5-year-old Caroline Thompson was reunited with her family last night after being kidnapped a day earlier from a motel parking lot in Daytona Beach, Florida. Her rescue and the arrest of the suspect, James Keith Tucker, came after residents of Myrtle Beach spotted the stolen car. Tucker is a convicted car thief and only recently was paroled from a prison in North Carolina. Today, little Caroline returned to Florida with her parents, who thanked the news media for publicizing their appeals to the kidnapper. They also thanked the kidnapper, James Keith Tucker, for not hurting their little girl.
There was a drug bust today at the county jail, but it didn't involve any of the inmates. A prison guard was arrested after he allegedly tried to smuggle several bags of heroin and marijuana into the jail. The suspect is identified as Jeffers Shipman. Warden James Jennings told Mike Schneider that more arrests may be coming.
Right now, I wouldn't want to say that to say anything who's involved, the guards or employees, but we're still on an investigation with Sheriff Coon's office and myself.
You get the feeling that it goes beyond just one man?
Yes, I believe it would go on beyond one man.
What's the status of the officer right now?
The officer is under arrest right now, and he had a hearing arraignment, and he'll be put out on bond or be put into jail. We don't know right now.
Jennings said the arrest today culminates a 3-month investigation.
Fred, how's the new father? How about a peek? Wow. A girl, a boy, and another boy. Red, you're gonna need help.
Why don't you talk to my bank, Mellon Bank, about a home improvement loan? They make more than any bank in town. Fast, too, 24 hours. I mean, let's face it, you need a new addition. Oh, to the house, Fred.
Making home improvement loans. This is Mellon Banking.
Steve's motto is, be prepared. So, he packed for this weekend like it was the Lewis and Clark expedition.
But he forgot one thing, money. Luckily, we have a neighbor who'll help us out any hour of the day or night. Our neighbor gives us cash when we need it, and even does other favors for us, like deposit our checks. Meet our neighbor.
The Mellon Banking Machine. A neighbor you can count on.
Now let's find a coffee machine.
This portion of the Channel 4 Action News has been brought to you by Mellon Bank. You get a good feeling for saving at Mellon Bank. Member FDIC.
Contract talks between Westinghouse Electric and its 3 striking unions have broken off indefinitely. Yesterday, the unions rejected a revised company offer, saying that it was nothing new and it failed to respond to the basic hang-up, which is pension program and job security. But the labor dispute most pressing tonight is the midnight strike threat by airport limo drivers. Mike Schneider has an update. It's a long walk from downtown to the airport.
I hope you're not planning on going anywhere soon, because it's not going to be easy. If you are planning on going to Greater Pitt Airport, by the way, and you're planning on taking one of those airport limousines, those long buses, you know what I'm talking about, it looks like you're going to be out of luck. That's because the limousine drivers are set to walk out in just about 45 minutes right now. Their contract expires at midnight, and negotiations with the airline transportation company have thus far failed to produce any new agreement. As usual, money is the problem here once again, but the amount appears to be rather small. One driver told me earlier tonight that Teamsters Local 249 would gladly accept a brand new contract if the company would merely increase its offer by 20 cents an hour. The driver pointed out that the Port Authority bus drivers make $80 a week more than their limousine counterparts, and they don't have to lug around any suitcases the way the limo people do. We've tried to get the company's side of this dispute, but all the company will say at this point is that a strike does appear to be likely. Now, on the surface, it does not seem to be a very big strike. Only 35 drivers are going to be involved here. But consider this fact. Those 35 drivers usually carry over 2,000 passengers a day, sometimes upward of 2,500. Those 2,000 to 2,500 people now have to use yellow cabs, and that will mean lots more money for the cabbies. But it'll also mean, Don, a shortage of taxis in the downtown area in Oakland as well, many other places throughout the Greater Pitt area. And one cabbie told me, if you're trying to get a cab after this strike, forget it. It's not going to be easy to find one anywhere.
It's tough to get to the airport once you get there. There are other picket lines, too. That's makes things even worse.
It's not going to be easy. They won't cross those picket lines, obviously.
I guess not. Thank you, Mike. Recreational facilities at county parks are scheduled to reopen tomorrow now that most of the labor troubles have been resolved. South Park Wave Pool will remain closed, however.
Theodore Bundy was sentenced to death in Florida's electric chair today for the murder of 2 co-eds from Florida State University. Before the sentence, he made a statement to the court in which he said the court has lowered itself to the level of the killer. He called himself the victim of a Greek tragedy.
It is further ordered that on such scheduled date that you be put to death by a current of electricity sufficient to cause your immediate death, and such current of electricity shall continue to pass through your body until you are dead.
But the judge had a
Praise God.